Cedar Point is arguably the best roller coaster amusement park in the world. It has a phenomenal top 5 headlined by the world's first Rocky Mountain construction hyper-hybrid roller coaster, Steel Vengeance. An RMC conversion of a large Dane Corporation wooden coaster called Mean Streak, Steel Vengeance has been heralded as one of the best roller coasters in the world, and it is not hard to see why. This roller coaster is airtime and power from start to finish. It is just relentless. It is also quite a long ride experience with its 5,740 foot or 1,750 meter track length. And Steel Vengeance uses every second of its ride duration to deliver an incredible ride. This roller coaster is easily one of the best roller coasters in the world and worthy of discussion as the best roller coaster in the world. This is our full-length, in-depth review of Steel Vengeance and our comments about what you can expect when you go to Cedar Point to ride this amazing roller coaster. Now, let's get into the review. Before there was Steel Vengeance, Cedar Point had a large wooden roller coaster called Mean Streak, which opened in 1991. Mean Streak was manufactured by the Dane Corporation, the same company responsible for relocating Phoenix at Knoebels and Wild One currently at Six Flags America. Mean Streak was one of the world's tallest, fastest, and longest wooden roller coasters. Over time, however, Mean Streak became rough and steadily lost ridership until Cedar Point decided to close the ride for an extensive refurbishment. Mean Streak gave its last rides in September 2016 and sat closed at the back of Cedar Point. In August 2017, the park announced Steel Vengeance, a Rocky Mountain construction iBox conversion of Mean Streak. Steel Vengeance would not just be another iBox conversion, however. It would be larger and crazier than any other RMC built up until that point. This is Cedar Point after all, a place where the words record-breaking coaster are commonplace. On May 5th, 2018, Steel Vengeance opened to the public with 10 roller coaster records. It would stand 205 feet tall, have over 5,700 feet of track, have a 200-foot tall vertical first drop, have 4 inversions, reach a top speed of 74 miles per hour, and have more airtime than any other roller coaster in the world. It also opened as the world's tallest, longest, and fastest hybrid roller coaster. While it is no longer the tallest and fastest hybrid coaster, records that now belong to Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa, Steel Vengeance is still the world's longest hybrid roller coaster and has more airtime than any other roller coaster with 27.2 seconds. To date, it is one of only 2 RMC iBox conversions located at the Legacy Cedar Fair parks, the other being Twisted Timbers at Kings Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. Steel Vengeance is located in the Frontier Town section of Cedar Point towards the very back of the park. It is a hike to get to the ride as you have to walk the entire length of the park just to get to the ride. That hike, however, is worth it as you are rewarded with the sight of the ride's massive lift hill towering over that section of the park. The mere image of Steel Vengeance's dense wooden support structure is quite impressive. You can see the dense wooden structure before you even reach the ride's entrance plaza. As you approach the ride, you first walk through a small section of Frontier Town and across the train tracks for the park's train, the Cedar Point and Lake Erie Railroad. You cross the train tracks and enter Steel Vengeance's large entrance plaza. As you enter the ride plaza, you will see the ride's massive structure and large marquee ride sign displaying the ride's name and logo. This ride sign looks awesome. You will also see a bay of lockers towards the right. These are where you will place all larger bags if you do not have a non-rider in your group. Unlike Top Thrill 2, however, you need not leave all your belongings in the locker, as you can bring smaller items into the queue. As you enter the queue, you will see some light framing that tells the ride's backstory. Steel Vengeance's story follows a trio's return to Frontier Town as they seek to reclaim what Maverick, the park's Intamin Blitz coaster, took years prior. In addition to the light framing, you will also see Steel Vengeance's dense wooden ride structure all around you. As you make your way through the queue, you walk underneath parts of the ride structure until you reach another bay of smaller lockers. Unlike the lockers in the ride plaza, these lockers are free and the same locker system you can find on Twisted Timbers. Once you have put all your smaller loose articles into the locker, you proceed through metal detectors and up some stairs onto the ride platform. As you reach the ride platform, you will see one of Steel Vengeance's 3 12-row, 24-passenger trains. These trains are RMC's second generation trains, which actually debuted on Steel Vengeance and Twisted Timbers and can be found on later RMC hybrid roller coasters like Iron Gwazi. Each of Steel Vengeance's trains is named after one of the 3 main characters from the ride's backstory, which is a nice touch. And like all other RMCs, these trains have seatbelts. Once you have boarded your train, fastened your seatbelt, secured your lap bar restraint, and cleared dispatch, you proceed forward through the ride's maintenance shed and out of the station to begin your ride. After you go through the maintenance shed, you take a right-hand turn and go over 2 bunny hills before climbing the lift hill. While you don't have a lot of speed going over these hills, you still get a weak pop of airtime while sitting towards the back of the train. As you climb the lift hill, you get amazing views of Lake Erie towards your left and equally amazing views of the park's skyline towards your right. You crest the top of the lift hill and plummet down Steel Vengeance's 200-foot tall vertical first drop. This first drop is simply insane while sitting towards the back of the train, as you just get whipped out of your seat as you go down it. At the bottom of the first drop, you fly over an ejector airtime-filled speed hill, which actually holds the record for the fastest airtime hill on a hybrid coaster. Since you take this speed hill at the ride's 74 mph top speed, you get an amazing pop of ejector airtime going over it. You then fly up towards the right and over the ride's first massive airtime hill, which gives you an insane pop of sustained ejector airtime. As you come off that airtime hill, you actually take a right-hand turn before flying up an outer banked airtime hill, which turns towards the right. This airtime hill delivers another amazing moment of sustained ejector airtime. As you come off of that airtime hill, you fly up and over an ejector airtime-filled hill before climbing up into a whippy zero-G roll. Unlike zero-G rolls on other RMCs, this zero-G roll continues to rotate into a right-hand bank turn and a quick over-banked turn, which gives a nice pop of airtime. As you come off of that turn, you continue into a climbing right-hand bank turn, followed by a whip towards the left into the beginning of a barrel roll down drop. Instead of completing the full roll, however, this element is more like a cutback, an element you can find on Twisted Timbers. While this element is not a full barrel roll down drop, the entry to it feels very similar to the entry to Iron Gwazi's barrel roll down drop. You flip back towards the right and fly over another ejector airtime hill. You then enter a quick left-hand bank turn up into a double up onto the mid-course brake run. Unlike most double ups, this element turns towards the left as you climb the second airtime hill up onto the mid-course brake run. This element gives a nice moment of laterals while you are still getting ejector airtime. It really is an awesome sensation. You glide through the mid-course brake run and take a left-hand banking drop off of it. This moment gives an incredible pop of strong ejector airtime as it feels like a mini drop. You bank further into a left-hand turn up into another double up, with each smaller hill giving more pops of ejector airtime. As you come off that second hill of the double up, you take a right-hand banked turn up into a rightward outer banked airtime hill. This outer banked airtime hill gives a nice moment of strong, sustained floater airtime before whipping down into a left-hand bank turn. You then fly up into a left-hand overbank turn, which pulls some good forces before straightening and flying through a rather whippy zero-G roll. As you come out of that zero-G roll, you fly over another ejector airtime-filled airtime hill, followed by another smaller airtime hill, which actually turns sharply rightwards. This unbanked rightward turn feels fairly similar to the unbanked double down on Wildcat's Revenge at Hershey Park, though on a much smaller scale. You bank immediately towards the left into an ejector airtime-filled wave turn within the ride's dense wooden structure. As you come off of that wave turn, you bank back towards the right and fly into another zero-G roll. Unlike the first zero-G roll, which has some more whip, this zero-G roll feels a little more floaty. You whip back towards the left into another overbanked airtime hill, over an outer banked bunny hill, and into Steel Vengeance's ejector airtime-filled bunny hill finale. You fly over another bunny hill before turning towards the left and flying over another bunny hill. You take a sharp right-hand turn and fly over another bunny hill, followed by one final speed hill before popping up into the final brake run to complete your ride. When you think of a manufacturer's best roller coaster, Steel Vengeance is often considered one of RMC's best creations. It literally has just about everything you would want from a roller coaster. A great first drop, strong sustained ejector airtime, strong floater airtime, inversions, quick transitions, and a long ride time. Before you even reach the lift hill, you are already popped out of your seat while sitting in the last car of the train. After you crest the lift hill, you experience just about every type of force there is. Airtime, some, though not a lot, of positive G-forces, hang time, and laterals. And what makes Steel Vengeance great is just how well-paced this ride truly is after it is warmed up. The first half has these massive elements, including a great outer banked airtime hill packed with sustained off-axis airtime, that double up into a zero-G roll, which just keeps turning, and a downwards cutback stall, while the second half takes advantage of smaller, tighter elements as the train loses its momentum. These second half elements are even better since many of them are lower to the ground and inside Steel Vengeance's ride structure. Those elements make for awesome near-miss moments. While there are just so many great moments during the second half, i.e. after dropping off the mid-course brake run, which is an amazing moment in and of itself, there are two moments that are spectacular. The first of which is the outer banked airtime hill, which whips directly into a left-hand banked turn into the ride structure. That element gives some nice sustained off-axis floater airtime before throwing in some great laterals and then flying into the first overbanked turn. The second standout moment during Steel Vengeance's second half is that rightward turning bunny hill, left-hand banked wave turn, right-hand turning 0G roll sequence. It is crazy just how rapidly you transition from each element. There is not a single inch of dead space on this roller coaster. It is paced so amazingly well. And that record for having the most airtime on any coaster, we can see it, though you lose track of the airtime duration after flying up into that first 0G roll, which is an amazing moment. While the rest of the ride's airtime is quick ejector pop after quick ejector pop following the second outer banked airtime hill during the second half, you are out of your seat pretty much until you reach the final brake run. By RMC standards, Steel Vengeance is a masterpiece. When it debuted in 2018, Steel Vengeance really was the showcase of everything Alan Schilke and RMC had to offer. While the second half can get a little repetitive towards the very end, Steel Vengeance's ride experience is world class. From a standalone ride experience perspective, Steel Vengeance is incredible during the day. A twilight or night ride, however, while sitting in the very back row is pure insanity, especially if you are not stapled. There really are no words to describe just how phenomenal and relentless Steel Vengeance is during one of those times. Aside from the ride experience itself, Steel Vengeance has a couple of cool aspects to it. The first of which is the station audio while a train dispatches. Each of the ride's 3 trains is named after one of the ride's 3 main characters, and you actually hear a line or two from each character when a train dispatches, which is a nice touch. The second cool aspect about the ride is the seatbelts used on the trains. Instead of having similar seatbelts like the ones on Iron Gwazi or Lightning Rod, which are Intamin seatbelts, or even Wildcat's Revenge, Steel Vengeance uses retro-style seatbelts similar to the kinds you can find in older automobiles. While Steel Vengeance is a perfect roller coaster, its locker policy is its only downside. The locker policy is not nearly as strict as the one on Top Thrill 2 though. Cedar Point and RMC hit a grand slam with Steel Vengeance. This roller coaster showcases just about everything that made RMC so great at the time. It is definitely one of the company's best coasters. It makes sense why this coaster is always in the conversation for the world's best roller coaster. For our final score, we of course give Steel Vengeance a perfect 10 out of 10. This is the best roller coaster at Cedar Point and easily one of the best roller coasters RMC has ever created, though it is still unclear whether it or Iron Gwazi is the better hyper hybrid. So let us know in the comments below if you have ridden Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point, and if so, what you think about it. Is it the best roller coaster in the world? And if you enjoyed this video or are new to the channel, please like and subscribe for more coaster content like this. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more coaster reviews and amusement park content coming soon to Coaster Adventures, and we hope to see you in the next one.